What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very interesting news when it comes to undefeated three-division world champion, who was at one point simultaneously the WBA super champion at 130, the WBA regular champion at 135 and 140, all at one time. Undefeated superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, 25 wins, no losses, no draws, 24 wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, stands at 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. He initially was scheduled to face off against World Boxing Association's interim champion, better known as the WBA interim champion, who is also a stablemate of his in undefeated star boxer Rolando "Rolly" Romero, who is 14 wins, no losses, no draws, 12 wins by way of knockout, 26 years of age. Rolly Romero stands at 5'8" with a 68-inch arm reach. Now, they were scheduled to face off against one another December 5th in Los Angeles, California at the Staples Center. But some serious allegations allegedly came down against Rolando "Rolly" Romero, where you had multiple people come forward and pin some serious allegations against him. With that said, Showtime and their promoters, because they share promoters with legendary promoter, a legendary retired Hall of Fame iconic superstar boxer turned colorful promoter, because he's very animated when he is promoting his fighters, that being Floyd Money Mayweather Jr. Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., he promotes Gervonta Tank Davis, he promotes Rolando "Rolly" Romero. And with that said, after these allegations came out, they decided to put Rolando "Rolly" Romero on the shelf because of these allegations, and it don't look good for all parties involved, especially Showtime, Floyd Mayweather's promotions, and the brands overall. It's very difficult to promote these fights with these types of allegations that came down. So everybody wondered who was going to be the next opponent for for Gervonta Tank Davis, as Rolando Romero had been pulled from the fight. Gervonta Tank Davis, he decided, and they settled on Isaac Pitbull Cruz, who will replace Rolando "Rolly" Romero. And initially, they were even inquiring about initially fighting Isaac Pitbull Cruz before they settled on Rolando "Rolly" Romero. So, with that said, Rolly Romero has not been shying away from the camera, regardless of all the allegations, all of the, kickback that he's been receiving. He's not been shying away from the camera at all whatsoever. Now, you could take that one of two ways. Maybe he feels, just like the alleged stated, that he feels like he's above, quote unquote, the law, right? Or he's truly innocent, but he's not shying away from the camera. And when asked what took place with this situation, Rolando "Rolly" Romero, he initially states that he can't say much because he don't have his legal team present. But he will say this. He feels that Floyd Mayweather, all parties involved, colluded. Showtime, they colluded to have him removed in order to protect Gervonta Tank Davis from a serious fight with Rolando "Rolly" Romero, and much rather put him in an easier fight. So he believes, and he alluded to, that was the case. Okay? So you able to read between the lines. I don't know if he meant to say this. I don't know if he cared that he said it. I don't know. But he alludes to Floyd Mayweather and company essentially colluding. And then he goes on to say that when you sign on to fight Gervonta Tank Davis, essentially you have to have a gag order. You can't say much. He says, I understand and know why Tank Davis's opponents or future opponents don't have much to say about him because they're not allowed to. So essentially, he's saying that there's a order where they can't say much, right? And so he says, there's not much I can say, but I will say this. They're avoiding this fight. So when everything else clears, I want this fight, okay? Now, Rolando Rolly Romero is not the most skilled guy. Yes, he does have power. 12 knockouts in 14 fights. He hasn't fought high-level opposition. He has a fight on his resume against Jackson Marinas back in 2020, August of 2020, where he got a unanimous decision, but most people thought that he got a gift decision because he was with said Floyd Mayweather. And Jackson Marinas is not a mega star. And so that was for the interim WBA title. And so many people thought that he got a gift decision and he needed to run it back. And it never happened. And so, again, he's not the most skilled guy. Yes, he does have power. He's very wide, very unorthodox with his punches. He leaves himself wide open. And essentially, right, he looks like a novice at times. He looks very green. He looks like he needs a lot of work. And so, he is a professional. He does have power. And his great friend, Teofimo Lopez, who's the unified lightweight world champion, superstar boxer, he even admitted, and this happens to be an interview he did with Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez actually asked him the question where he stated he needed his legal team there present before he could answer and respond to any of those questions. But he does feel like there's a gag order, and he does feel like they were protecting Gervonta Tank Davis. But Teofimo Lopez was a good friend. Dare you say best friends in the sport of boxing. And Teofimo Lopez even stated that Rolly Romero is getting better every day. I think this kid is getting better. Well, that's because he hasn't fully developed. He doesn't show much technical skills. He's very wild, very looping with his punches. He's not defensively savvy. Okay? And he looks like a novice. And again, Jackson Marinas essentially beat Rolando Rolly Romero in that fight. 80% of the boxing world believed that he lost that fight. And he said after the fight, the kickback that he received, he wanted to retire after that fight because of so much kickback that he received from the fans, boxing pundits, media, and such. And then he stated he wanted to give him an immediate rematch, and it never came to fruition. And so I'm hard-pressed to think and see them looking to shelter Gervonta Tank Davis, who has arguably top 2, top 3 highest ring IQs in the sport of boxing. He has knocked out every opponent essentially he's faced except one. He's a southpaw who's very skilled. Now he gets highlighted for his power. He gets highlighted for his aggressiveness. He gets highlighted for his action. But what gets overlooked is the high ring IQ of a Gervonta Tank Davis. What gets overlooked is the skill set of Gervonta Tank Davis. What gets overlooked is the technical ability of Gervonta Tank Davis. And so, Rolando Rolly Romero, if anything, you have to question how did they even make such a fight with a guy who's not very experienced. This is no slight to Rolando Rolly Romero. It is just the truth. If you watch him fight, he looks like he needs a lot of work. Gervonta Tank Davis is a much more polished, well-rounded boxer who's undefeated, very exciting, has very explosive power, very accurate with his punches, sets up his opponents, ring IQ, knows where he's at. Yes, he hasn't fought the highest level of opposition that people call for him to fight. But he did fight 4-division world champion Mexican superstar boxer who's a future Hall of Famer, Leo Santa Cruz. And you take a look back at that fight and how he set up that knockout against Leo Santa Cruz. How he set up the knockout against Mario Barrios. Now again, I know that that's not the highest level of opposition. but just look at his ring IQ. So I'm hard pressed to feel like Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, Steven Espinosa felt the need to collude, allegedly, to shelter Gervonta Tank Davis from Rolando Rolly Romero. Instead, I believe that Rolando Rolly Romero should take serious accountability for what could turn out to be not so much of a laughing matter as he's wiping it off to be, brushing it off his shoulders to be. Floyd Mayweather wasn't there with these alleged accusers. Gervonta Tank Davis wasn't there. Steven Espinosa wasn't there. Only he was present. If he was present. But they have a lot of details, which could be public record as well. Not saying he was. But accountability needs to be had. I don't think Floyd Mayweather has the time to go search out these people to put them in the way to shelter Gervonta Tank Davis from a fight with Rolando Rolly Romero, in which Floyd Mayweather stands to win either which way it goes because he's both of their promoters. Yes, Gervonta Tank Davis is the cash cow, but Floyd Mayweather wins either which way. If Rolando Rolly Romero has the ability to beat Gervonta Tank Davis and beats Gervonta Tank Davis, well, guess what? Floyd Mayweather could now turn his attention and marketing into Rolando Rolly Romero, who's in the same weight class with all these other fighters like WBC undefeated lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney, who they have history, or Ryan Garcia, who has history, Rolando Rolly Romero. So he could just turn his attention and marketing and focus to Rolly and promote him, and he'll be his next cash cow, and he will be instantly a superstar because the whole world will be watching. And if he's able to upset Gervonta Tank Davis, well, that still benefits Floyd Mayweather. So there's no reason for Floyd Mayweather to want to shelter Gervonta Tank Davis from Rolly Romero. Now, a fighter that's not in his stable, that he don't have ties to, like Teofimo Lopez, who signed to ESPN in Top Rank, or Devin Haney, who's with DHP, his own promotional Devin Haney promotion with father, trainer, and manager Bill Haney, where he co-promotes with Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, and they fight on DAZN. I can understand that. Or Shakur Stevenson, or Ryan Garcia, who's still with Golden Boy Promotions, and Oscar De La Hoya, his biggest rival. So I could see that, because then he stands to gain nothing if Tank loses, because he doesn't have any stock in those guys' careers. But when it comes to Rolando Rolly Romero, he has stock in his career, so he wins either way. So it's pretty telling that he would place that jacket on everybody else and not take accountability for himself. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share the videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.